let's look at the second movement now. And what I'd like to talk about in this particular movement is the relationship that the conductor has with the orchestra. Now, I hate to tell you this, I'm sure you're probably aware of this, but when you play in an orchestra with a conductor, there is no such thing as a democracy. So, what you have, essentially, is more of a military setup. So, if we were looking at it in terms of the military, I guess I would be the, what do you think I would be?
Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in-Chief is a good one. I like that. I like that. That's really good. General's another one. Okay.
Sergeant?
Well, no, sergeant's too low on the rank. Commander-in-Chief. Let's say Commander-in-Chief. Okay. So now, besides the hierarchy of the music director and the orchestra, there's also a hierarchy with the orchestra itself. Okay? So, in this case, I communicate essentially in the rehearsal process to the orchestra directly and also to the concertmaster. Eva, would you like to stand, please? Eva Strain is our concertmaster this evening, and Eva could be considered the sergeant. She's certainly the sergeant of the first violin, but, however, you can sit now, she's also, she's not only the sergeant, but she also is in charge of, in this case, because this is only a string orchestra, there are a group of functions that she needs to fulfill in order to do her job as concertmaster. Can you give me one job that you would have to do as a concertmaster?
Well, yeah, doing the bowings before the first rehearsal so that everybody would have a unified bowing, which means down bow, up bow. So which direction the bow goes, up or down, or slurred or not slurred. So that, and then just lead the section basically, and tune the orchestra before the concerts, and
Yep.
pretty much it.
That's correct. So Eva, one very important function that she serves, she mentioned, is preparing the bowings for the orchestra. Now, I am essentially a choral conductor. I come from that tradition. So I'm not really a string player, even though I have been trained on the violin, and clearly I'm a guitarist, but that doesn't count here. There's no bow in guitar. So I have to rely on Eva in order to do all of the necessary functions in preparing all of the bowings, which are very important. The more players there are, the more important the bowing is, because they all have to play the same way. And if you noticed in the first movement, when someone was doing an up bow, you didn't see anyone else doing a down bow. They all did it at the same time because the bowing is actually written in the score. So that's very important. So we have the sergeant, we have the commander-in-chief, and once we go through, each particular section also has its leader too. So in this case, Mary Jane is the principal second violinist for our orchestra. Dean would be the principal viola. Of course, we only have one cello and one double bass. Consider yourselves deputized, gentlemen. So, we've got the hierarchy. Now, the hierarchy is important because when you're playing in an ensemble, those leaders essentially lead the section. Now, I want to give you an example of something. If we look at the last few chords of the second movement, please, of the romanza, I'm going to cue the orchestra to play each one of these chords, and I want you to watch and hear something. Did you notice anything about that?
They're all playing together.
That's very good. That's very good. I'm glad that you said it, because they are all playing together. However, if you listen very closely, one person is playing first. And who would that person, do you think, be? The concertmaster. The hierarchy in the orchestra is such that even though I cue, once the cue is given, the concertmaster leads and everyone else listens and follows. And so even though she played first, it sounded to you as if the entire chord was being played as a unit. And that's good ensemble playing, so thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.